Yo, what is up guys, Ghost here, back with another big data mine that's dropped from Temporal, probably the most notorious and arguably the best data miner for Battlefield. He has basically dropped all of the goods on the Battle Royale mode that's coming to the game, which is especially interesting because whilst it may not be a game mode that a lot of us are looking for in Battlefield, it is one that we don't really know a whole lot about yet, as it's not been played at all in Battlefield Labs. So we're going to go over all of the details here in this video. Before we do, if you guys enjoy the content on the channel, make sure you're subscribed. Plenty more to come on Battlefield here in the future. And as always, thank you guys for your ongoing support. So this is a lengthy post that Temporal left over on Reddit called the Battle Royale mode, new features and additional details. So let's just start from the top here. Keep moving and survive. Drop into the combat zone and prepare for hostile contact. Loot weapons, gadgets, and call-ins for tactical advantage, complete missions, secure intel, and custom weapon drops, and stay ahead of the collapsing NXC Flamefront. Be the last squad standing to win. So it sounds like you are indeed going to go in with pretty much nothing outside of the gear that you take with you, I suppose, and you're going to have to loot weapons, gadgets, call-ins, etc., just as you would in a regular Battle Royale. The NXC Flamefront sounds like the thing that is going to enclose around you and kill you, so very similar to Battlefield 5's Firestorm mode there. So here's a little bit on the lore. After an explosive disaster exposes a classified military R&D facility to attack by multiple unidentified PMC groups, the handler deploys an elite squad to secure the site before its secrets can fall into the wrong hands. So here are some of the interesting gameplay features. So first of all, priority missions. Keep an eye out for priority missions, high reward opportunities that present themselves as the situation on the ground unfolds. And you can also apparently counter other squads' missions. So when a nearby enemy squad starts a mission, you may be given the chance to stop them and steal their rewards. So here are a couple of what look like callouts from the narrator, if you will, from the announcer in the game. And he says, watch out, another team is countering your squad's marked mission. They will try to eliminate a marked player, so it looks like they're going to try and kill one of you in the squad, and if they do that, they will accomplish that mission. They will try to calibrate your beacons, and then this one here says they will try to stop you or defuse the bomb. So we are going to be getting quite the selection of missions there. As for the rewards, it says choose a mission from the map for the chance to earn rewards like combat vehicle access keycards, custom weapon drops, and more. You have a gunsmith kit you can use to improve your weapon, open your inventory, select the weapon, and upgrade it. So what perks my interest there is combat vehicle access keycards. It sounds like maybe the vehicles on the map are perhaps going to be stored at a certain location, like perhaps there are jets in a hangar, and you've got to make your way over to the hangar and actually use one of these keycards to access it and perhaps take off in a jet. That actually sounds pretty amazing. You know, I'm not really the biggest fan of Battle Royale games, but then again, the vehicles in them aren't done particularly well. However, Battlefield have never really done one before like this, so maybe this is going to be kind of more up my alley. And he actually expands on this here. It says vehicle keycards. Obtain a vehicle keycard and take it to a marked container to access a powerful combat vehicle. So again, it sounds like there's going to be tanks and whatnot just sat around in containers, and you've got to go and open it up via keycard to gain access to them. Then we have custom weapon drops. So watch for airdropped support packages containing your customized weapons. You can retrieve one of your custom weapons from a custom weapon drop, find another one to secure a second custom weapon. Custom weapon drops can be earned as a rare reward for completing missions. There's a custom loadout drop nearby marked by custom loadout icon. It allows you to access your favorited weapons. So I think these, what are in quotation marks here and italics, are basically like what the announcer in the game is going to be saying and alerting to you what's going on. Then of course you've got the field upgrades, complete missions to earn your field upgrades quickly, unlock new traits for your class by completing missions, getting kills, looting, and finding intel drives. The intel drive you just picked up has earned you significant progress on your field upgrade. So as with the all-out warfare, the regular Battlefield modes, if you will, in that mode you earn the field upgrades by just, you know, capturing flags, killing enemy players, reviving people, healing people, etc. Sounds like in this mode it's going to be more about completing the missions and gaining XP in that way. So there is indeed a second chance mechanic here. For a short time after infill, you get one free redeployment after death. The first time you are wiped out early in a round of Royale, you get a second chance and are dropped in again. This is your second and only chance, make it count. So originally I thought this may be like the Gulag from Warzone. Sounds like it's not like that though, you just get dropped in again and you go again. It says only if you get killed at the start of a round though, so I wonder where the cutoff threshold is for that. Is it after a certain amount of time, or maybe once you've racked up a certain amount of points or completed the mission, you are no longer eligible for that second chance. Then we have Redeploy Points. If one of your squad mates is killed, activate a Redeploy Point to bring them back into the fight. Mobile Redeploy Points can be found as rare loot and as a reward for completing missions. You can contest redeploy points activated by hostiles to pause their activation progress. I think he's made a bit of a typo here because he says anti-tank crates, but this is clearly not about anti-tank crates. But what he does say is that using a redeploy point while your squad mates are awaiting their second chance redeployment will prevent that second chance from being spent. So basically, if your squad mates have one of these redeploy beacons, you can then save your second chance and maybe use that sometime later in the game. However, the quote he puts in here does seem to sound like it's to do with the anti-tank crates, and it says, there is an enemy vehicle nearby. Find anti-tank equipment and knock it out. So again, this sounds like you complete missions, maybe you get an anti-tank crate that drops somewhere, you've got to go over there, get the anti-tank crate in order to take out the enemy vehicle. Supply bag armor. The support class's supply bag gadget provides armor plates. So I haven't seen any evidence in any of the leaks from Battlefield Labs that armor plates are in the regular all-out warfare modes in the game, but it does sound like for the Battle Royale they are going to have that. I guess that makes sense. You kind of need some sort of replenishable health, in this case armor, to be able to really, make a Battle Royale work. Then we have Scavenging. Walk over dead enemies' backpacks to collect their ammo and armor plates. You can recover combat vehicle access keycards from killed hostiles that were holding them. Vehicle containers. After you activate a combat vehicle container using a keycard, you will need to defend it while it opens. If there is an enemy combat vehicle in your area and you have no anti-vehicle weapons, keep an eye out for marked AT drops. Okay, so that's interesting. Not only do you have to complete a mission, find a keycard, then get over to the container and open it up, you have to wait a certain amount of time, and who knows if you're going to get pinged on the map once you start opening that container, so other squads can see that, maybe they can come along, try and wipe you out and steal your vehicle. So the NXC Flamefront, the ring of burning NXC is never stable. It will constantly collapse until nothing remains. NXC instantly destroys anything it touches. Respect the ring, you'll start burning if you're too close to the ring. So just like we thought, it's basically exactly like Firestorm from BF5. I guess, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. You need some sort of mechanic that is going to make the playable space smaller and smaller as the round goes on. And I suppose Fire, whilst maybe somewhat unoriginal, is as good as any. Next, we've got the Repair Tool. In addition to repairing vehicles and gadgets, the Engineer class's Repair Tool can be used to crack some safes. So again, outside of completing missions, getting vehicles, and just ultimately killing the enemy squads, it sounds like you're going to be able to crack into safes here, maybe to find some goodies there as well. Then we have Shakedown. Perform a takedown on a downed player to take their dog tags and briefly reveal their squad mates' positions. Ooh, that's an interesting mechanic. So now dog tags and sort of knifing somebody and doing a takedown actually has some meaning in the game. So if you really do get, jumped on here, you're a snake in the grass, you're just prone somewhere on the ground, you don't watch your six and you get knifed, you're sort of screwing over your entire squad, so you're going to really have to be careful. Vehicle resupply stations. If you're low on health or ammo in a combat vehicle, find a resupply station to top off. Vehicle resupply stations have limited uses. To get the most out of a combat vehicle, use them wisely. So this is basically like attrition for vehicles. And now this makes me wonder, maybe the attrition features that were data mined earlier were only pertaining to the Battle Royale mode. Because I have to say, out of the new leaks that I've seen from Battlefield Labs, I haven't noticed any of these attrition crates anywhere. So maybe they changed that. I don't really remember where we saw the first ones. I think it was just in the first ever leaks on the first ever playtest. So they definitely were in the all-out warfare modes. But I can't say I've really been noticing them anymore. So perhaps DICE quietly phase them out of there. Oversight System. The Oversight System allows soldiers out of the fight to stay in the action with remote cameras, drones, and turrets. Okay, so that's cool. So if you die and your squaddies are still alive and you want to squad up with them for the next round, you can just sort of stay around there with like remote cameras and drones and watch the action with them. I'm not sure if you're going to be able to communicate with them in-game. Of course, though, you can always be on Discord, right? And basically be informing them of exactly where the enemies are. I don't know, that sounds, on the one hand, it makes sense, right? Because you don't want to be sat out doing nothing, waiting for your friends to finish the round. But on the other hand, it seems kind of cheap and cheesy that you can just fly around in a drone, spot exactly where the enemies are, and let your squad mates know. I'm hoping the drones can actually be seen by the enemy players, though, maybe even shot out the sky as well. And they get turrets. Like, what? You die and then you can use turrets and stuff? That sounds maybe a little bit too good, but I guess we'll see how that one works. Oversight terminals. Capturing an oversight terminal gives your dead squad mates control of advanced security systems with lethal potential. So that confirms it, right? It gives your dead squad mates control of advanced security systems with lethal potential. So oversight gadgets, even if you don't have control of an oversight terminal, dead squad mates can use local security cams to maintain visibility. And then we've got public cameras, drones accessible via the oversight system, have ordnance delivery capabilities, bombs away. And then we've got ordnance drones here, drones accessible via the oversight system, can use redeploy points. Oversight turrets, turrets accessible via the oversight system, are vulnerable to enemy fire while controlled. Okay, so the enemies can see these things, they can be taken out. I kind of like this though, you know, it means that for the most part it's a one life game mode, but you get a second chance. And then even if you lose that second chance, you really get a third chance as well, because you can still sort of be playing the game and taking part in the round somewhat via this oversight system, maybe using turrets, maybe using drones, maybe using cameras to spot the enemy players. So, you know, if you want to stay on playing, you can finish that round with your friends and then queue into a new one. I think they're really trying to combat one of the main problems with Battle Royale where, you know, you die, your friends are still going on, and then you say, oh, you know what, guys, I'm just going to go and take a break since I died so early. I'm going to go grab some food. I'm going to go do something else, whatever it may be, and you stop playing the game. Obviously, they want you to continue playing the game for as long as possible. So then we have class chests. Class chests contain loot tailored to your chosen class. Rare chests, these contain upgraded weapons, call-ins, and XSAPI plate carriers, so that's the armor plates. Upgraded armor, find a plate carrier to double your armor capacity. And then lootable vehicles. Some abandoned civilian and military vehicles can be looted. Be careful of alarms. Oh, that's cool. So you're going to find civilian vehicles, just, you know, maybe like an SUV or just a sedan or something. You can open the trunk, loot some stuff out of there, but the car alarm may go off, potentially alerting nearby enemies to your location. So I gotta say, this actually does sound pretty interesting, and like they are somewhat innovating on the Battle Royale formula. Originally, when I heard that they were implementing Battle Royale in the new Battlefield game, I thought, well, isn't Battle Royale kind of a bit long in the tooth? Isn't it a bit, you know, 10 years ago? It's been done to death. Even extraction modes, which are newer, they've been done to death as well. So I kind of feel like Battlefield are really coming to the party very, very late here. But maybe Battlefield is actually the perfect franchise to make a Battle Royale game in. As always, the proof is going to be in the pudding. I'll believe it when I see it, and I'll play it out for myself and see if it catches me, if it hooks me, so to speak. But so far, I am definitely more intrigued, let's say, than I was before. Okay, this is post-editing Ghost here. Just wanted to throw this in here because Temporeal has obviously been data mining the new Battlefield Labs build like a madman, and he's just posted this on Twitter. He says the remaster of Operation Firestorm in Battlefield 6 has been revealed as the previously unknown location in Turkmenistan. Its description suggests that it will also be integrated into the main lore surrounding the conflict between NATO and Pax Armata. So we didn't know there was going to be a map set in Turkmenistan and it was going to be something to do with oil, but we didn't know that it was going to be a remaster of Operation Firestorm. And this is what the description says here. One of Turkmenistan's major oil refineries comes under attack as NATO forces target the country's key infrastructure in an effort to destabilize Pax Armada's presence in the region. And this has me thinking, given the fact that we've just learnt that there's going to be a giant ring of fire in the Battle Royale map, is this in fact going to be the location for the Battle Royale map as well? It's not entirely clear what he's saying here. Is it just going to be a remaster for the all-out warfare mode? Is it going to be for the Battle Royale? I have to say, though, I'm all for this. I really like Firestorm. You know, it was in Battlefield 3, then they remastered it for Battlefield 4, so it's obviously one of the favourite maps out there. And now it sounds like one way or another we're going to be getting it in Battlefield 6 as well, so that's pretty awesome. So guys, as always, let me know down below, what do you think about all of the features here? Do you want a Battle Royale in the next Battlefield game? Do you not care? The features we've just outlined here, how do those affect your opinions now? What do you think of this oversight system? I think that's going to be quite controversial because, you know, like I said, it does have the positive effect there that people can sort of stay in the game and participating. But on the other hand, it's probably going to be incredibly annoying to die to, like, what sounds kind of like a floating turret on a drone or something from a player that's already died. So yeah, I'm not quite sure how I feel about that one, but leave me all of your thoughts down below. As always, thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe if you do enjoy the content here on the channel, and I'll see you all in the next video.